some help. And concealing the distribution becomes very important. Okay, there's the dummy. All right, south is declaring 6 spades on this line. And this is a reasonable slam. South's got a really nice hand. 5-5 in the majors, controls all over the place. North has some stuff. It's not an amazing hand, but it does have 5-card trump support, so that's always good. 10-card spade fit. They find their way to 6 spades. And so as you just look at these two hands and you think about the likelihood of the slam making, what needs to happen?
King of Hearts on side.
You need the King of Hearts on side, don't you? You've got no problem at all in the trump suit. You'll probably have trumps drawn in 2 rounds, most likely. And hopefully ending in dummy so that you can run the 10 hearts. If the King of Hearts is on side, you always have 12 tricks, don't you? And you would only have lost the ace of clubs. It's not a bad slam. If we figure that the ace of clubs is always a loser, and we need the heart on side, it's a 50-50 slam, right? I've been in worse. All right, well, the defense actually doesn't lead the ace of clubs. In fact, they don't lead a club at all. Now, they don't lead a heart. They're not going to be that friendly. The opening lead is the Jack of Diamonds. Presumably from Jack 10, maybe Jack 10-9, right? Assume they're just leading from a sequence here in an unbid suit. We also figure, and so what inferences can you draw from this lead? Well, West probably doesn't have the ace of clubs. They might lead the ace of clubs against a small slam, right? Especially if they're looking at the King of Hearts and think, well, maybe I'll score this on a finesse. So maybe I better just take a club trick, hopefully it cashes, and then maybe they'll have to take a finesse, right? So we think that West does not have the ace of clubs. What other possibly significant card do we think West probably does not have?
King of Diamonds.
King of Diamonds. Mm-hmm. Now, it is possible. Jack from King Jack 10 would be a normal lead. However, how often do we lead away from kings against slams? Not that often, right? If we don't have an ace to cash or something like that, a lot of times we will find ourselves making more of a passive lead against a slam, right? Thinking being like, well, what if I take a finesse for them that won't work if they have to take it themselves? Now, what if DeClaire has ace-queen in a suit and I lead away from this king and that gives them their 12th trick? Well, egg on our face when we do that, right? So we tend to not lead. I'm not going to say it never happens, but it's pretty rare. So inferences that I can draw, and notice how many inferences we're drawing just from the opening lead. Jack, presumably from Jack 10, probably no king, probably no ace of clubs. King of Hearts could be in either hand. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, why am I going through all this? If I need the King of Hearts on side, why am I thinking about all this at trick 1? As declared.
You're making a plan.
Making a plan, but if the plan, if the plan to make the slam is we need the King of Hearts on side, shouldn't take too long to formulate that plan, right? We think that there isn't a whole lot to think about. Or is there? What do you think about the probability of making 6 spades if the heart finesse doesn't work? Is there a second chance?
They don't leave a club.
Yeah.
All right, you take the heart finesse and they win the King of Hearts and they don't take their club. Because then you have heart winners, right? And as long as you get your trumps drawn first, we could pitch all 3 clubs from the dummy, right? We could make them all go away if they don't want to take their ace of clubs. The hearts are long enough and good enough to do that. Well, how do we get them to not take their club?
Cover the jack with the queen.
All right, Nina is on to something here. So why would, if you had ace doubleton of diamonds rather than, you have singleton ace here, right? If you had ace doubleton of diamonds, wouldn't you always cover the queen? Right? If your diamond holding looked like this, and they got off to the jack of diamonds lead, wouldn't you cover the queen and pray that they had led from king jack? I mean, would it cost you to try the queen? If it doesn't work, and it probably won't, and this person goes king and you win your ace, now you have a diamond loser, right? In addition to your other concerns on the hand, right? Well, you don't have ace doubleton, you have ace singleton. You know that you will be winning your ace, no matter what else appears in trick 1, right? You know that. Defense doesn't know that. I mean, that seems like kind of a nonsense play, right? As far as the defense is concerned. Why would you put up the queen from dummy if you had singleton ace? That's silly. You're trying to convey a position that does not exist, but could exist from the defense point of view. Now, if it turns out that they have led from king jack, and you put up your queen and it goes small ace, the cat's going to be out of the bag, right? In that case, your king of hearts had better be on side. Your heart finesse had better work, right? All right, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make the deceptive play, if you will, of playing the queen. Expecting the king of diamonds to appear over here most of the time, since they probably didn't lead away from it against the slam. And now you win your ace. All right, well, what happens next? Well, you need to take your heart finesse, right? You also need to get trumps drawn. But we know that you need to be in the dummy, right? All right. So at trick 2, why don't we go ahead and play a trump to the king? Or you could play the jack or 10. Any would work, right? At trick 3, what do we want you to do? 10 of hearts. Isn't there a trump lurking out there still? You're in a 10-card fit and you've only played 1 trump.
Yeah.
So you need to draw the other trump first, right? Wrong, as my trig teacher used to say. Is the answer x squared? Wrong. I still does. I think I only tell stories about one of my high school teachers. Bob Harris was a piece of work. He was from Oklahoma. He had all these sayings. He had like a good wife is like a UFO, talked about but seldom seen. That's it.
Good one.
So yeah, he had all sorts of stuff. like that. I don't know if he made all these up himself or what. Okay, so we don't want you to draw the other trump. Why? Because what if this person over here is the one that started with the singleton trump, and so they get to show out. They have a discard, and they put a card on the table that says, partner, got the ace of clubs over here. You don't want them signaling the ace of clubs, right? They didn't find the club lead at trick 1. You don't want them finding it now. So as important as it is to get trumps drawn and make sure that nothing gets roughed, don't give them a chance to signal. We talked about this on one of the previous examples. We said don't play your 4 club winners yet, because now they will signal. Don't give them a chance to signal. Cross to dummy with the king of spades, play the 10 of hearts. If the king of hearts is on side, you're home. All right? If it goes 10 of hearts, small, small, and this person has the king of hearts, what are they almost certainly going to do at trick after they win their king of hearts? They're going to try and cash their 10 of diamonds. It's probably going to land on the table with a snap because they're so sure they're setting you, right? Snap the 10 of diamonds on the table as you go set in your slam. And then you surprise everybody by roughing, drawing the last trump, and running off 4 more heart winners, pitching 3 clubs from dummy. So that was a case where, because the king of hearts was offside, the slam was not making legitimately. But maybe you can still make it. It's the only chance, right? If the king of hearts isn't offside, it's not like you can afford to knock out the ace of clubs. Doesn't hurt to try. And you know what? If they don't play the 10 of diamonds, if they switch to the club anyhow, power to them. They got it right. But you didn't make it easy. But remember, you had to make all of this happen by doing something that was probably not intuitive and covering the jack of diamonds at trick 1 with the queen. And you just have to remind yourself, hey, I know I have to win singleton ace of diamonds at trick 1, but they don't know that. And they don't, now, of course, the only danger, and again, I didn't give you an auction, and this is why maybe sometimes, blasting out a slam without going through all of the routine. There is one little thing here. The opponents probably won't get this wrong if you had a key card auction along the way and revealed that you were missing a key card, right? Mm-hmm. If the opening leader isn't looking, their king of hearts are not trump, right? So when you take a heart finesse and they win their king of hearts, spades are trump. So the king of hearts may not have been accounted for, right, in the auction. And so if they believe that you have key carded accurately and they know your side to be missing one key card, that key card can only be the ace of clubs, right? So they might find the club switch if you revealed during the bidding that you were missing one. Presumably you're missing one, right? If you asked, got your answer, and stopped at 6. No, we don't know this for sure, right? I mean, it could be that you have all the key cards, but you just didn't care to pursue a grand slam. But they at least might get some information that you're missing a key card. And when you start off, when you win the ace of diamonds at trick 1 and they see one key card there, and you play a spade to the king at trick 2, and partner doesn't cover the ace, they know declare has the ace, so they can account for that key card. See how they might piece this together and be like, maybe partner has the ace of clubs. And then it only becomes a matter of, okay, well, as long as declare is not void in clubs, the ace of clubs is cashing. Excuse me. Now, they may not know your exact distribution, right?
6 spades.
What's that? Oh, how would you get to 6 spades? Yeah, I mean, this auction could go could go a lot of different ways, really. I mean, if we get I think I would open a spade in the south. It's not too far off from a 2-club opening though. Could open a spade in the south and then some kind of spade raises coming from north. We can debate how it would be bid. It's a little too good to bid preemptively. But yeah, it really, you know, would depend how north decides to value the hand with no singleton or anything like that, but 9 points and extra trumps. But I could certainly envision an auction where, you know, I mean, I can envision an auction where maybe they decide to call this a limit raise. I could see an auction like 1 spade, 3 spades, 6 spades, just blast it out. Let the defense figure it out. You know?
Oh.